Okay. Hi, I'm Kaviya, and I am the artist and designer behind Crosley's International Women's Day Special Cruiser. My art is very much tied to my emotions, and color is something that brings out my emotion. I feel like an emotional attachment to color. And I think growing up in India too is such a big part of culture, things being colorful, and I'm just drawn to it. So that's how I started experimenting with color, and dabbling in textiles even is like an homage to my Indian culture. I wouldn't necessarily box myself as like a textile artist or jewelry artist or anything like that. I would say more like a mixed media artist because I see myself constantly evolving and growing and learning. Learning is the most exciting aspect. My art is like an escape place for me where I can forget everything that's around, just dim the noise, and it is a way for me to experience the whimsical aspect of childhood, be a child again, and just experience that pure joy. And when people see my things, that's the feeling that I want them to experience. That feeling and that release and that childlike joy and imagination I have creating them. So I think when you look at history to present day, and I'm not talking about just our country, I'm talking about the world in general, any sort of control or dictatorship over a generalized population always begins with taking away women's rights, right? Your access to healthcare, your access to education, driving, not being allowed in public. It always begins like that and it escalates. International Women's Day, it just reminds me that we've always fought, we've achieved a lot of things, and we've won. And there is this sisterhood that we have, this power in this sisterhood. So that's what it means to me, that there will be goodness and we will fight. Yeah. I think music is very much like my art. It is a connection to my past almost. I don't know if you experience this, but when you think of a moment in your life, there are some moments that you can never relive. It's gone. It just lives in your memory, right? You can never experience it. The places exist, the people exist, but everything has changed. It's an emotional thing. It's a personal thing. I cannot imagine, as I cannot imagine world without color. I cannot imagine a world without music either. So visual artists, I love Mrinalini Mukherjee's work. She is an Indian woman artist, and she does a lot of like textile work. So it's a lot of like macrame, but she sculpts them into different like deities and stuff like that. It's just like beautiful. Being an Indian woman, it's so hard for me to come across like other Indian women artists, and I discovered her work when I was in London, and my mind was blown because I was like, oh my god, look at this amazing piece of work by another Indian woman right there. So it gave me like hope to like I can grow and I can be somebody. So she inspires my work a lot. And of course, Frida Kahlo. I think for any like a woman, bohemian, colorful artist, she is the mother. So I love Frida Kahlo. Artist wise, I think Dolly Parton. Just like the hard work, the grit, her music, and the little powerhouse that she is. I love Dolly Parton. In current generation, I think like Taylor Swift, what she has done as an artist to be like this billionaire artist and to be this phenomenon, I think is very inspiring as a woman to see and to apply in our lives. I was so excited that the proceeds are going to Creative Girl Rocks. To have somebody supporting that sort of education, I know that they support a lot of like mental health and offer that sort of support is something amazing. Like if I had that sort of a support when I was a child myself, that would have meant the world to me. And to imagine that we get to support it, that it's just amazing. And I'm so excited and so thrilled. The inspiration is just women I see every day. I love to people watch and observe. So every woman is sort of in that design. I wanted them to be anonymous enough, but also it's almost like showing the color within. So they're all like super colorful, they're whimsical. I also think as women, like sometimes identities are forced upon us. Identity of a caretaker, identity of somebody that runs the house, just like these things that are placed upon them. But when I created my women, I wanted it to be open. They're all these things and none of these things. They can be whatever they want. I think it reflects the sisterhood, that even though we are all separated by cultures and geography and everything, just being existing as a woman, there's some sort of like a sisterhood. When we look into each other, there's that bond. I wanted this piece to very much represent that bond, and also the vast knowledge and the vast love that we have within us.